Trigger was mid, but its sequel is so much better. Ultraman Decker is basically Tsuburaya's apology letter to the fans for giving us Ultraman Decker. But on a serious note, Ultraman Decker is the latest Ultra series for 2022, and to be honest, my expectations was very low after what we got last time, but I was surprised that I enjoyed it. So, I'm gonna talk about the regular stuff on this channel. The opening, characters, the story, the cinematography, kaiju designs, the gimmicks, and of course, Ultraman Decker himself. Oh yeah, before we start the review, for older fans who haven't seen Ultraman in 10 years, here's a quick reminder. New Generation is a thing that Tsuburaya has made since Ginga, and basically these Ultraman have some relations with other older Ultraman, like how Decker is a different person to Dyna, Taiga is Taro's son, and Zed being Ultraman Zero's student. That's the New Generations. Anyways, let's get started with the review. The opening of Ultraman Decker is very catchy as hell. Wake Up Decker is a song that I was kind of sus at first because Trigger had a banger ass opening, but Wake Up Decker is pretty catchy, not gonna lie. And the music video of it? Oh my god, makes it so much better. Wake Up Decker gets a certified banger for me. Ah yes, the characters. Decker is another show that balances between our main character and the side character's story. The characters in this show are very good and charming. Let me introduce them. Our main character, Atsumi Kanata, who's a goofy and hardworking person, and of course, he's Ultraman Decker. Ichika Kirino is a bright and optimistic person in the team, and thank God she isn't a love interest to anyone in this damn series. Soma Ryumo is a calm sharpshooter in the team. Sawakarazaki is the vice captain and the older sister-like figure for the new members of the team. Taiji Murahoshi is the main captain of the team. And lastly, one of the best characters in the team, Honey 2, are best known for his gangster-ass name, Hanijiro. I love this man. Or thing, because it's a robot, but shut up. This is our members to the newly reorganization called Gut Select. I genuinely like these characters because they are very pretty charming in their own way, and I love that we get to see more of their backstories in the series, and I love that we get to see these three the most in the series since episode 1. Atsumi is a great main character, to be honest. I love that his whole character that he wants to find out what's his purpose of fighting while moving forward for his future. Like Atsumi, the other characters have their own goals as well in the series. Murahoshi is probably one of my favorite captains out of this franchise because he's a new captain who's leading to a new team. And I do miss this trope because the last time we've ever got a captain who's leading a team is Ultraman Mebius. Lastly, I forgot to mention our antagonists. Agamis, or Alien Barsdo? The fuck? I don't know why he has two different articles, but we'll just stick with it. By the way, spoiler alerts if you want to watch Ultraman Decker. Fun fact, Agamis' actor, or Yu Koyanagi, actually played Ultraman before Ultraman Decker. He played Ren, or Ren, I don't know how they pronounce it. Get the kid who pronounced his own brother. Or better known as Ultraman Zero. He played in Ultraman Zero the movie, Super Decided Fight, the Belia Galactic Empire. What a name. Anyways, Agamis is a very interesting character in the series, and I was kind of surprised he's going to be a villain in the series. However, I do like that he really messed up Atsumi's mentality in the series, but finding out about his backstory was sad as well, not gonna lie. But I love that he's a human-like villain who uses a goddamn robot to defeat Ultraman! Like, damn, man! Mostly, I love when the villain isn't some dude who's an Ultraman, or just a dark Ultraman. Because I'm getting sick of tired of seeing these people. Agamis is a great, like, he's great, not gonna lie. And I love his conclusion as well. The story of Decker is very interesting, to be honest. Basically, our boy Atsumi lives on Earth while his parents went on a vacation on Mars. And yes, humans made Mars into civilization. Suddenly, Earth got colonized by these spheres that came out of nowhere, so they started attacking and barricading the entire Earth. So people in Mars can't come back to Earth. So then, Atsumi started shooting these spheres, but instead, he got sucked into the spheres. Well, that's it, boys. Roll the credits. I'm just kidding. In Ultraman fashion, Decker came to save Atsumi, so he became Ultraman Decker.
あんたを叫べ。なんだ？光？輝け輝けクラッシュデッカー Ultraman Decker Last time
So yeah, the bad guys won already, and that's a start for Decker. And it's the fact that the bad guys won in the first episode, because usually it'll be like a main character dies, Ultraman came to use you, Kaiju appears and attacks the city, Ultraman comes and defeats him, and everything's peaceful. But I guess Decker isn't like that, so that's interesting. Another thing I like about the story of Decker is that our main cast isn't part of the Team Force yet. And I love that so much. My favorite trope, to be honest. So Atsumi, Ryumo, and Ichiki have to pass a test to join the Team Force, and I like that a lot, to be honest. The early parts of the story is very fun and very great start for the series, but the later episodes are just amazing. Spoiler alerts, by the way, again, quick reminder. The story of Decker gets so interesting when they introduce us a man from the future who's apparently Ultraman Decker. And he's Atsumi's relative in the future! For some reason, his name is Decker Atsumi. That's something. Anyways, this part of the story was, not gonna lie, one of the most surprising plot twists I watched in Decker. Because I wasn't expecting people from the future to be coming. But one of my favorite parts of this arc is when Atsumi makes his own form by using Decker's powers. Because again, Ultraman Decker's forms were made by Decker Atsumi. I'm gonna call him that now. Basically, Decker Atsumi gave his powers to Atsumi because he can't go to the present to save Agamisu, who, by the way, has relation with each other. So he gave one of his relatives from the present to save Agamisu. So he gave every power of Decker to Atsumi. So Atsumi creates his own form called Dynamic Type. And to be honest, this is very weird, but I like it. But I'm gonna save it for the Ultraman part. So after Atsumi makes his own form, he will use it to defeat Agamisu, but that's what he thinks. Because the moment Decker Atsumi goes back to Earth, he says,
あいつを
アガムスを救ってやってくれ。
was so confusing and really fucked with Atsumi. Lastly, the last episode of Decker is just a great conclusion to the series in my opinion. Spoilers, by the way, again, quick reminder. Everyone knowing Atsumi is Ultraman is kind of a normal trope in Ultraman at this point, but having Decker and everyone fighting the final boss is just Ultraman classic. But it's kind of weird if all people who gets the power of the light is Decker, so it's kind of weird for me. The cinematography in Ultraman Decker is amazing. I haven't seen some good ass cinematography since Mebius. Decker got really good as directors who made this show really good, in my opinion. Like, look at these screenshots, man. Like, what? They look good as hell. Like, oh my god. Mwah. Perfect. The kaijus in Decker are just reused kaijus from the Showa era and Dyna, so I won't be talking about them, but Decker has some cool kaijus in the series, and reused kaijus that actually have an effect on the show. So, of course, we gotta mention the spheres. The spheres in Decker are quite different compared to the one in Dyna, but the spheres have a lot of involvements in the show, and they gave us an original kaiju designs. The first kaiju we've seen in Decker is Spherosaurus, and who I found out that the last boss of Decker is just the same kaiju, but this time it's their mother. Anyways, the Spherosaurus is pretty cool. It's a pretty cool kaiju in my opinion, but it doesn't help he's the only original kaiju in the series. Anyways, after Spherosaurus, we got more kaijus from the spheres, that is Gomura and Red King, but this time they're different. We got Sphere Gomura and Sphere Red King. To be honest, Gomura has a pretty cool design with those white shit he has. And same goes with Red King, but I like how they made him red. Like, actually red. Like his name. Anyways, another original kaiju that they made is Neo Megas. To be honest, this is a pretty cool looking kaiju. Not gonna lie. And lastly, I already told you the kaiju name, but we got the final boss of the series, Mother Sphere. What the hell did Decker's suit team be cooking, bro? Because holy shit, this boss goes hard as hell. Like, bitch, even 1v1 trigger while he was using Glitter Eternity. Like, what the fuck? Mother Sphere gotta be one of my favorite kaijus in New Generation. Not gonna lie. Oh yeah, and Yapul appeared for some reason, but he looks different. I still don't know why he's in here. This is the first time I've ever talked about gimmicks on the channel, because around New Generation, that's where like gimmicks look so wacky. So I'm gonna talk about Decker's. Decker's gimmicks is bringing back cards again in the franchise, because the last time we've ever got cards as gimmicks was in Ultraman Orb. Decker using cards is pretty cool, and I think they did this so you can use it on the Ultraman arcade game. Anyways, lastly, I'm going to talk about the transformation device, or what they call it, the Ultraman D Flasher. Great naming, guys. You know, when they announced this thing, I legit thought to myself, this looks like a mug. And then I realized, Dyna looks like a piece of shit. Anyways, the D Flasher voice was something I didn't like as much when they leaked the toy on Twitter, but I got used to it already. Ah yes, Decker. I still remember when they first showed the design of Decker, and to be honest, Ultraman Decker and Dyna legit have the same design, but they just changed his headpiece and chest design. Like, they both have the same red and blue patterns in the same place, but the only difference is that Decker has a wider forehead and has this battle armor type design going on in his chest. To be honest, I don't mind as much. Same goes with his color timer, because I think we haven't seen a color timer that's a side of the chest besides like Ultraman Nice. And I do like the space theme for his design. Now let me talk about his other forms. While I was doing research on Decker and Dyna's forms, I just realized how different their pattern and looks are. Dyna's strong type looks so buff, while Decker looks like a Muay Thai fighter. But I do like how he's wearing like fingerless gloves in strong type. It's actually pretty sick. Furthermore, Decker's Miracle type looks more blue than Dyna's, and to be honest, I do like that Decker's Miracle type has more blue and his design is very simple. I do like that a lot. And lastly, Ultraman Decker's final form, Dynamic type. Okay, hear me out. I've never thought Decker would actually get a final form, knowing the fact that Dyna never had one. So seeing Dynamic type was so surprising to me, and this form is something, not gonna lie. Dynamic has a pretty cool design choice on his front, but his back, I feel like I'm looking at a Jack Polark art or something. And Dynamic got some big ass honkers, like goddamn! But before I talk about Dynamic Type's weapon, I really want to talk about Dynamic Type's like debut, because holy shit, I love the debut scene. It goes so hard. Like, what the hell? Anyways, Dynamic Type's weapon is okay. I do like it's a switch between a shield and a double blade. So, it's cool. But I ain't buying one. And one more thing I really want to talk about is Decker's henshin. Holy shit. I fucking love just looking at this. Wait, look at it, man.
Ultra Dimension! Dynamic Decker! Ultraman Decker! Dynamic time!
Oh my god. Okay. I'm done with this part. Let's get to the conclusion. Overall, Ultraman Decker is generally a very good season in my opinion, and to be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be this good. And it's such a big improvement compared to like Trigger in my opinion. But the only thing I didn't like as much is that they kept making recap episodes, so it kind of ruins the hype for it. And again, it's just it's just new generation Dyna, so yeah. But I do recommend to newer fans who want to get into Ultraman. So I'm gonna give this show an 8 out of 10. The second best Reiwa show that Tsuburaya has made, in my opinion, to be honest.